Hi guys, Louis in the UK, defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. I've got a spare day today, so we're doing a few topics today. We've just done Dr. Nick. We're now doing, that was quick, wasn't it? Teleported to here. Hi, Satin. We're now doing the Piers Morgan interview, and we're going to compare it to the older interviews. Okay? Now I'm going to quickly let everyone know. Hi, Pat. Hi, Lorna. Good. You guys are all jumping back on. Let me just quickly tell everyone. So we got who? We got Finola. Let's have a look. Let me just tell everyone. We're live. We've got two chats. One on Defending Elvis Presley's Facebook. And one on my name, Louis McCready's. Let me just tell everyone. Let's go to the... Okay. We're live. Right. Right, I've told everyone. Okay, guys, that was interesting. What it is, I have to do on separate videos. Otherwise, when I post them, it's just one blur, isn't it? Now, have you got your coffees ready? Because I've got about an hour, yeah? In an hour, I've got to come off. My wife's going to come home. I've had the whole day free. The weather is crap. I've done my run. I've done a walk. I've done my weightlifting. The only thing I've got to do is walk the dogs, and I can do that when my wife gets home. So anyone new to the channel, it's Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. We have Team Elvis. We've been going 5-ish months now. Every day we defend Elvis. Every day we're looking for different things. Now, I've been trying to break away a bit from Priscilla, constantly talking about Priscilla, constantly talking about this book. But we are now going to talk about Priscilla. And we're probably going to mention this book. We may even mention this book. But this morning, I'd already made up my mind that I wanted to go over the Piers Morgan interview again. Now, we've done it before. But I feel that the more we do our research, the more that we look at the old interviews, because we've been looking at the old interviews, haven't we? There was two different ones that we... I think we're about 3/4 of the way into one of them. The Barbara Walters one, we're more than halfway into it. Then there was another one. I'm trying to remember who the interviewer was. I can't remember. I'm into that. So as I've been watching these older interviews, and I watched one this morning. Where is it? Let me just show you the one I watched this morning, which I found really interesting. It's made me go, oh, I need to go back to that Piers Morgan interview. Does anyone know the date of it? Was it the end of 2023? Was it the beginning of 2024? I can't remember. Let me just see if I can find the interview. I've watched. I found a very old interview. The guy is very gentle with Priscilla. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can get it up. I watched it this morning. Here we go. Right. Now, this Priscilla here, yeah, it's 1979, September the 10th. Yeah. Oh, Finola, thank you. Yes. Get me those coffees, guys. Finola, thank you very much. Very kind of you. Anyone that buys me a coffee, guys, it means a lot to me. Thank you. So, let me just send Finola a kiss. Finola, I'm sending you a kiss. Woo! Right. Now, I'm trying to remember, we're going to analyze Piers Morgan's interview. Yeah? Now, this Priscilla, 1979, we all know the history that leads up to 1979, is a very different Priscilla. Yeah? This Priscilla is much calmer, friendlier, much sweeter, actually very likable, obviously beautiful. 1979. Now, what changed? I asked you this, guys. I will do, Finola. Especially because you're from Ireland. You know, my son is engaged to an Irish girl from Ireland. My son's 27. He's engaged to an Irish girl. So I'm coming to see you. Finola. Right, as I was saying, sorry. Of course I do. Right, now listen. Listen. This interview, I'm asking you this question, yeah? What happened from that interview, 1979, yeah? What happened where in 1985, when she does the Barbara Walters interview, she is all cagey and horrible and like, Elvis treated me like this, you know. I was groomed and controlled and, you know, like the way she does it. And it's like, I was under a spell. I was under a spell, yeah? Now let's watch this. She's nothing like that in this. It's only a short interview. Don't forget, we are going to eventually play the Piers Morgan one. Yeah? Okay, are we ready for this? It's going to be an hour as long as my wife doesn't run in and batter me. Let's go.
We're looking at 16 minutes after 7, 64 degrees. We're very happy to have with us our guest this morning, Priscilla Presley. She lives now in California, but you're in and out of Memphis very often now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And she is now the spokesperson for Wella Balsam, and that's all in hair conditioning.
Hair products, that's right.
What's your role as spokesperson for them?
Well, I'll be doing commercials, doing print work, and doing some public appearances for Wella.
What the girls want to know, are you really going to wash your hair every day?
I wash my hair every day anyway. I swim every day. So that the big problem is having to get all the chlorine out of my hair right away, you know. So it's great because all of Wella products are absolutely fantastic. The conditioner and the cholesterol. So I'm learning myself all about the products, and they work great. They brought the shine back to my hair.
What do people ask you when you see them in public now? They're always asking about Elvis.
What do they ask me?
Yeah.
They usually ask me what I'm doing now.
We established you don't have your boutique anymore.
No, we don't. I don't. I sold it to my partner about 2 years ago. I had it for 4 years. It was very successful. It was a great experience. And I met a lot of wonderful people. Did a lot of designing.
It's an entrance or a pre-entrance into possibly a theatrical or show business career for you. Could you conceive that in the near future?
I'm not really thinking about a show business career because I'm not a fast mover. I'm a very slow mover, and I like to take things
I'm just doing
as
live.
they come. I really would like to devote my time to this product, you know, and really work for it. I'm not that interested in a movie career or a series. I like my free time too. So whatever I can do.
Listen, that's a precious, precious commodity.
Yes, it
Freedom.
is.
Believe me. I don't have enough of it, but if you got it, hold on to it.
Well, a lot of people have asked me, one of the questions was, you know, how
Hi.
you've always maintained a low profile. How can you be doing this? But it's not going to demand that much of me. I mean, I'll be seen in some of the ads, but my face is in all the movie magazines and the Inquirer anyway, you know, so that's not going to be any different. And then I'll be doing a commercial, so it's not like I'm constantly, you know, out in public, because I really do value my private life.
I would think traveling with and for Wella, a product that women need, a product that women use, it would be very easy for you to move into the role. It's something that you don't have to get up and get ready for.
Right. Except this morning. My God, I don't even know I'm here right now.
Yeah, but you know, really, if it's a woman's product, something you use, something you like, it's very easy. So you can enjoy travel
Absolutely.
and meeting people and doing what you want to do and really telling the truth about the product.
Well, you have to believe in the product. And it took, you know, a long time. And I went to the factory and in New Jersey, and I met the heads of Wella, and they're wonderful people. And you have to believe in the product. And it's really, I was shocked when I found out how much care really goes into this product. So to believe in it really helps. And
you mentioned a minute ago the Inquirer and the movie magazines. That's one that they have written a lot about. Are they factual in what they?
Oh my gosh, no.
You have no recourse really to.
Well, there's been a few articles that I wanted to take some action on, but I guess that draws more attention to it, and then I don't want to do that either. So you have to sit quietly and take a few deep breaths and wait for it to pass.
Count to 10.
Yeah, more than 10, but 100.
How old's your daughter now?
She's 11.
In school in California?
Yes. Yeah.
We used to see her, and you got to talk a little bit about it since you're in Memphis, I'm sure. But when she'd have a little purse, a little plastic handle on it with a little Barbie doll's face on it, and Mr. Presley would bring her out sometimes to catch the plane where you had sent for her.
Right.
And then sometimes she traveled with a nurse.
That's right. You know all those things. You're
I
an
worked at the
American,
airport,
right?
yeah.
You're giving all those secrets away.
Right, and the way we would see you and Elvis, when Lisa was just a baby, we'd Susan Frazier and I would sneak her in the back of the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And that was us. When he'd go around on the runway, we'd sneak up the back, and we just the three of you would be on it. We could just ask you and talk to you like we wanted to. And I'm sure Memphians are just as much as in love with you, having been a Presley and still are a Presley.
I hope so. I know Memphis. I'm so fond of it. I feel like it's my own hometown. I grew up here, and yesterday at the Coliseum, there was so many smiling faces, and it was wonderful to be received. And I look out and see some familiar faces, and I kind of wave, and it's great. I mean, Memphis is really it's a beautiful city. A lot of hospitality here.
Your role now in the will, you really
In the will?
You have to kind of run things, make the decisions.
Yeah.
Is that a horrendous experience?
It's scary. I mean, because it's a big responsibility. There's a lot of big decisions to be made, and hopefully, with a lot of time and thought, they'll be the right decisions.
When you're not traveling with Wella, you just got started, didn't you?
Yes.
How long?
In fact, this is my first appearance, and I couldn't believe.
Tape this, Bobby. Hold on to this tape, Bobby. Da-da.
Yes.
Well, then you can't answer the next question. I was about to ask you, what do you do in your spare time?
Oh, I can answer that.
Okay.
I travel, and I go to different countries. I really want to travel to Europe and spend some time, about a month. I love European countries. It's the old history there.
Just pause it a minute. It's more or less finished. Only a minute left. So Joy Clark, welcome to our channel. Not the best introduction. Normally people are like, "Hi everyone, how are you?" But no, you jump straight in there with, "Is this a Priscilla hate channel?" Not a great way to be welcomed. Not a great way to say hello. But if you've been watching our live streams today and yesterday, we've just done a 2-hour live stream on Dr. Nick, trying to break down and understand the medical problems that Elvis had, the prescribed medication problems Elvis had. And then before that, we did yesterday Colonel Tom Parker, over an hour and a half doing Colonel Tom Parker. But yes, do we do Priscilla videos to expose the wrongdoing, how she's mistreated Elvis and lied about Elvis, in our opinion, for the last 40 odd years? Too right we do. Now remember, this book, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, is full of lies. Almost nothing in this book, in my opinion, is true. It's all been twisted, remodified. It is history rewritten. Yeah. Now, I will also say that there is an alternative truth in this book. I'm not saying everything in this book is true, but many of the things in this book that expose Priscilla has been done with witnesses and a lie detector of some sort. Whereas this book was written 7 years after Elvis died, by a divorcee who had crucified him in a second divorce settlement, who was seriously unfaithful to Elvis, even unfaithful to him 2 months after his baby was born, Lisa Marie Presley, and then again with Mike Stone, the karate champion. Yeah. So we got some serious wrongdoing happening here by Priscilla. She's also giving the impression that Elvis is a paedophile, that Elvis groomed her. Elvis told her how to dress, act, and walk, how to do her hair and makeup, forced her to do it, made her into a prisoner in Gracelands. This is Priscilla, yeah? Again, forcing her to come to America and live with him when she was 14, when the truth is she moved to America when she was nearly 18, telling the world that they had done everything except have sex, when the truth is they didn't have sex until she was nearly 22, yeah? She was unfaithful to him with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, 2 to 3 months after they got married, and she's admitted it in page 262 of her own book. So, yeah, we're passionate about the wrongdoing of Priscilla Presley, and we want Priscilla to come to the table and apologize for her disgusting behavior towards Elvis. Now, we won't whitewash Elvis. We accept Elvis also was unfaithful. Elvis also made mistakes. We got it, yeah? Elvis was not a saint. But you compare Elvis's wrongdoing to Priscilla's wrongdoing, there is no comparison. Even if you come outside, even if you go 7 years later, once she wrote this book was written by a divorcee 7 years after Elvis died. Elvis had no say in this book. Nothing. This book was written by a divorcee who pretends to be his widow, Priscilla Presley, who gave up the name Presley after the first divorce and then took it back after Vernon Presley died, then writes a book to set wrongs to rights, yeah, to make everything okay, but then crucifies him in this book, yeah, and then goes on to squander Lisa Marie's money for 40 years, almost making Lisa Marie go bankrupt. Then, when poor Lisa Marie dies, she tries to stop Lisa Marie becoming Lisa Marie's children, Riley, Finley, and Harper, who are the rightful heirs to Graceland. Yeah, she tries to prevent it, even demanding to be buried next to Elvis Presley, her ex-husband that she was unfaithful to and crucified him in a second divorce settlement that she wasn't even entitled to. So this isn't a Priscilla hate channel. We want to change the mind of Priscilla fans because we feel that Priscilla fans have been brainwashed. We feel Priscilla fans have been brainwashed, spoon-fed lies for 40 years. We think they don't understand the truth. We think Priscilla fans have fallen in love with the fairy tale. Going way back from the 60s, we think that Priscilla fans have fallen in love with this. Yeah? The fairy tale of Priscilla meeting Elvis in 1959. She only knew him. How many of you know this? She only knew Elvis for between 2 and 6 months. More than likely 2 months. So there's a possibility that she only knew Elvis for 8 weeks. No sex, no relationship. How many Priscilla fans have fallen for this? Yeah? Are you one of them? Are you, let's have a look at the name, Joy Clark. Are you one of them that have been brainwashed? I ask you that. Do you believe they had a beautiful romance and the reason it went wrong is because Elvis was a drug addict and because he abused Priscilla? Do you believe that? Do you think that the reason the marriage went wrong is because Elvis was unfaithful? Because I tell you now, she was unfaithful when Priscilla had a baby. She got married on the 1st of July, 1967. 9 months later, they had a baby. About 10 weeks after the baby, Lisa Marie was born. Yeah? She was unfaithful. She had sex with another man whilst she was married to Elvis just after Lisa Marie was born. Just after. She's admitted it. Page 262. I had a brief affair. She even goes into graphic detail that while she was with the dance instructor, living with Elvis, all she could think about was was Steve Peck. Steve Peck, the dance instructor. This is Priscilla. Did you know that? Did you know that within 18 months... Shut the door, please. Right, one second. I haven't finished yet.
Is someone Someone got flowers?
Yeah, it's for Mum's birthday, isn't it?
It's Gemma.
Oh, yes. Right. Look, flowers for my wife's birthday. Right, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just finish my little speech off. So I only say this to anyone coming into this channel. If you're a Priscilla fan, I have nothing against you. I've got nothing against Priscilla fans. We will try and change your mind. We will try and open your eyes. Because we think Priscilla fans are very blinkered, don't know the truth. We feel that they've been brainwashed. Right, let me read some of the comments. Obviously, I'm just a fan at home. I get the kids being noisy, the dogs, my son is here. This is how we do the show, guys. Right, it is not the first time I've commented, so there's no need to be so rude about me judging straight into Priscilla. Yes, I know about the books. I've read them all. Loved Elvis for over 50 years. That makes many of us here. I've been a fan of Elvis for 54 years. Many of us here have loved Elvis since the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s. Many of us here. So I'm only friendly to the people who agree. So, but are you going to be friendly, Joy? When are you going to be friendly? I actually don't mind people having different opinions, but I do think jumping into a live stream in a rude way makes you look bad. I do think that. We're all long-term fans here. Do you know what? You're only welcome if you're not here to argue. If you're going to be respectful and be polite, show good manners, you can have different views than us, that's fine. But if you're going to be rude, you're not welcome. Right, let's have a look. Joy, we did the research, putting on our truth. Louis also asked Priscilla to come to our channel so we can confront her. I definitely do. I want Priscilla to apologise for her behaviour towards Elvis. I think the way Priscilla has treated Elvis and Lisa Marie is disgusting. I literally cannot believe the way she treated Lisa Marie. I cannot believe that she made the film Priscilla. It's so cruel and so unfair to Riley, Q, and the twins. It just should never have happened. Joy, Louis isn't a hateful man. I definitely am not. I want to forgive Priscilla. I've got forgiveness in my heart for Priscilla. I'd love for her to apologise. I'd love it. We are all fans, Joy. We all have our own opinions. Louis is a very kind and humble man and never claims to be an expert. I'm definitely no expert. I'm a fan at home. But I have done enough research to know that the way Priscilla has treated Elvis is disgusting. The way she treated Lisa Marie is disgusting. Even now, the way she's not, in my opinion, not grieving and spending her time with her grandkids, which is what she should be doing. She's parading around the world like a 20-year-old for money, for cash. After losing her daughter, she acts as if nothing bad has happened in her life. It's wrong. It isn't right. Whether it's my business or not, it is not right. Anyway, okay, right. So I'm gonna. What it is, this has took me a bit longer than I expected, but I'm gonna start doing the Piers Morgan interview. Now, what we're gonna do, guys, let's have a look. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get the Piers Morgan interview up, and then we're gonna criticize it. We're gonna go through it bit by bit.
First of all, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Now, you guys know my views on this interview. What is the date? Does it say the date of it? No. Does anyone know the date of the Piers Morgan interview? I can't see. There's no date here. This is 10 months ago. So what we're going to do, we're going to play it. We're going to jump in. Now, this is my problem with Piers Morgan, with this interview, is that he talks to her as if they were still married when he died. He talks to her as if she was a Presley, and she wasn't. She'd given up that name. He also says that she is royalty, like the Kennedys. He says that she is the reason that Elvis has not been forgotten, that she is the reason Elvis's legacy has been kept alive. He also says she's the reason Gracelands was saved, which is not true. He also says it was her idea that Gracelands became a living museum. It's not true. We've already proved that it was not her idea to turn Gracelands into a museum. Then he also says that she has never said a bad word about him, ever. She says that about Priscilla. He says, oh, you've never said a bad word about Elvis. All the way through this interview, he says things that are incorrect, almost like he has done no research, none. Now, when I start playing these questions, now bear in mind, we have done a lot of research, yeah? Together, we have done hundreds of hours of research. So we've got nearer to the truth. Piers Morgan in this interview looks like he's done zero research. If anything, he comes across smitten to Priscilla. Let's play it, guys.
I'm good.
You've had a kind of extraordinary few. Priscilla, first of all, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm good.
You've had a kind of extraordinary few years, really. Some great highs, some terrible lows. I've interviewed you various stages in the last 15 years or so. And before I came today, I was just wondering, actually, genuinely, how you were doing.
Well, in all honesty, it has been pretty tough. I lost my mom, then I lost my grandson, and then I lost my daughter. So I don't know exactly how to answer that, because I have my good days and I have my bad days. So, you never know. And it's, how can I say, it's difficult. It's difficult to wake up in the morning and not, have a call from my daughter or wonder how my grandson is doing. It's like a part of your, not part, but a large part of your life is taken away.
The particular difficulty for someone like you is that you can't do this privately. But
Right.
everything is magnified on a global stage.
Right.
And there was a quote which really resonated with me. I suspect it will with you. From Baz Luhrmann, who, of course, directed Elvis the movie. And he said, there's the Kennedys and there's the Presleys. They are the royal families of America. And in different ways, they both were, as Shakespeare says, wedded to calamity. Is it genetic? Is it because they have such high standards? Is it because the world watches them? Maybe. Because to be American royalty is not just to have your country watch you. To be American royalty is to have the whole world watch you. Did that resonate with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're living a life,
Let me just pause that a minute.
Presley.
Let me just pause that a minute. Does anyone here feel the way I do about what he has just said? He has just told Priscilla Presley, who is not Priscilla Presley, her name is Priscilla Bulow, that divorced Elvis in 1973 officially. It was actually before then. Remember the circumstances why they divorced. She met Mike Stone, the karate champion, had a year-long affair with him behind Elvis's back, then went and lived with Mike Stone for 4.5 years in total, if you include the 1 year unfaithfulness, took Lisa Marie with her, took Elvis's daughter away from him. Now remember, Mike Stone was married, pregnant. Remember, Mike Stone's wife, Frances Stone, was pregnant and had a small girl. This woman is not a Presley. She divorced Elvis. She demanded a divorce, demanded it. You watch Mike Stone. If you don't believe me, watch Mike Stone's interview, which I watched tonight. I've watched it again today. He clearly says that Priscilla told him that she was going to demand a divorce in 1972. She wanted out. This woman is not a Kennedy. She is not a royal family. She's not a Presley. This is an outsider, who ran off, lived her own separate life, separate boyfriends, took Elvis's child, broke up a family because Frances Stone was married to Mike Stone. They had 2 kids. She broke up not only Mike Stone's family, but her own family. She devastated Elvis because there's no way that Elvis wanted to live in a broken family. Elvis did not want his family broken apart. He wanted to keep him, Priscilla, and Lisa together for the sake of Lisa, because Lisa was his number one thing. So Elvis was forced to live this life, this public humiliation, where Priscilla goes running down the road with Mike Stone and his child, and then the whole world eyes are on Priscilla and Mike Stone, whilst Elvis is basically at home, completely wrecked, heartbroken, and humiliated. Now, Piers Morgan, remember, guys, Piers Morgan, he's kissing her ass. That's a British way of saying it. He's kissing her ass. He's treating her like she was still married to him, like they were really close, like she had no other lovers, no other boyfriends, even though she was with Michael Garibaldi Garcia for 22 years, had his son Navarone, also Michael Edwards for 7 years, and many others, Robert Kardashian, many others. She has had many lovers, even long-term. And to this day, she keeps saying Elvis is the love of her life, which is trash, which is garbage. Why, I ask you this, guys, why does Piers Morgan treat her like the day Elvis died, they were still together? Why? Why does Piers Morgan treat Priscilla as if this book was not written? This book trashes Elvis big time. Why does Piers Morgan act like this book was never written? Why does Piers Morgan treat Priscilla as if she had no other lovers? Why does Piers Morgan not mention the fact that when Lisa Marie died, she contested her wishes that her kids should have her belongings, have Gracelands? Why? Why does she demand to be buried next to a man that she divorced in 1973, 47 years later, 46 years later? Why? Who gets buried next to the man they divorced nearly 50 years ago? She betrayed him, and the divorce settlement that she had, where she nearly took Gracelands, people talk about the fact that Gracelands had no money when Elvis died. Yes, because she had took it all. I repeat, people talk about Gracelands had run out of money. When Elvis died, there was no money left. Yeah, Priscilla took it. Remember, Priscilla's the reason there was no money left. A lot of people forget that. Right, let's carry on with the interview.
You don't really know what you're getting into, especially when you're younger. And, you have to adapt to not really having your privacy. Things getting out that you wish didn't. You start thinking, my gosh, I have to be careful, what I say, or it'll be taken wrong, or they'll add on to it. So it's been a journey. There's no doubt.
There's a movie now about you. Your center stage. It's your life. It's called Priscilla. And when they first aired it at the Venice Film Festival, you were there. And at the end, there's a very moving clip as you get a standing ovation for about 7 minutes from an ecstatic crowd, and you're in tears at the end. What was it that moved you in that moment?
For the show, for the movie getting that kind of reception, I never, when you have a movie that's about you, you never know how people are going to take it. You never know if they're going to understand it. I mean, they have their own, with Elvis, people, that's a big name. It's a big name. And I was happy because it had a standing ovation. I was happy for Sophia. She was quite nervous about it. Sophia Coppola, right? I was nervous too, not knowing how people are just going to, not do anything and just so very nice and get up and leave. So it was a surprise to both of us how well it was received.
Whoa, let me just pause that. Right, so now I have strong views about the Priscilla film. I think it's disgusting that film was made. I think Sofia Coppola made a serious mistake basing that movie on this book, which to me is a pack of lies, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. Everything we do in this episode is for entertainment purposes, yeah? Opinions of us together and myself. Now, there's no way that Priscilla, who, remember, before Lisa Marie passed away, Lisa Marie definitely did not want that film made. She even emailed Sofia Coppola. We've heard that they were feuding behind the scenes, begging, Lisa was begging Priscilla to not make that film. We know at the Golden Globe Awards, they didn't want to be anywhere near each other. She was escorted, Lisa was escorted by Jerry Schilling. They had been feuding on and off for years because of tens of millions of pounds that Priscilla, with Barry Siegel, had squandered with bad investments like American Idol. Yeah? There's a lot of things that went on that I think was robbing Lisa Marie from her trustee. Not just Lisa Marie, from her trust fund. Not just Lisa Marie, from Riley Keough, from the twins, Finley and Harper. So my point is this, guys, that then Lisa Marie dies, which is horrific. And none of us can believe that it's happened. And what does she do? She contests Lisa Marie's wishes that everything will then become Riley's and the twins. It's disgusting, but then goes on to promote the film Priscilla, because finally Priscilla has had a film made about her. Sofia Coppola has chosen her book, her story, her rewriting of history. She said she was going to put wrongs to rights when this book was written to prove that all the books that have been written up to this point are lies and hers is truth. She was put in a position where she could write history, rewrite history, and no one was going to disagree with her. Elvis wasn't around. Elvis had no involvement in this book. There are no witnesses to this book. She rewrote history, and then this was a bestseller that trashed Elvis's memory and legacy and reputation and image for 40 years. This book is, I think this book's 39 years old. Yeah? This book. And Sofia Coppola chooses this book to make a brand new film. Yeah? Priscilla's the star. Priscilla's the name. Priscilla. Sofia Coppola, a highly acclaimed filmmaker. She can't believe it. She's at the top of a castle. She's on her own throne. Finally, they're making a movie about me. Unluckily for Sofia Coppola and Priscilla, the film was a massive flop, because you don't make a book based on lies. Lies, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. Lies. That was Sofia Coppola and Priscilla's undoing. It was a flop because it was full of lies, and the public have wised up to it. The Elvis fans have wised up to it. They don't want to watch the Priscilla film because it's not true. the public, as soon as Priscilla went against her daughter's wishes to make the film and to give Riley and Finley and Harper Gracelands, the public knew. They knew. She'd got away with it before. All the unfaithfulness, the bitter, horrible divorce, the very greedy, brutal, cruel divorce that she put Elvis through, the embarrassing unfaithfulness, the humiliation that Elvis went through with Mike Stone, the karate guy. It was all hidden away, dusted away, swept under the carpet. The public just forgot about it. But they're not forgetting now. They're not forgetting now, because finally the public are starting to see the truth. And we here at Defending Elvis Presley are helping the Priscilla fans, the public, to see the truth. We are removing people's blinkers. And this interview, I have no idea why Piers Morgan was like this on this interview. I have no idea, because he normally is a very direct interviewer. He really normally does cut to the chase. He normally does his research. But this interview, it's like he has done nothing, and that all he wants to do is be friends with Priscilla, who is lying, who has now reinvented a new storyline to try and win approval from the public, from the Elvis fans. She's changed her tune. If you watch interviews from the 80s and 90s, she doesn't speak like this. She's changed. She used to say some horrible things about Elvis. Yeah? Now she's very careful how she speaks about Elvis. But look at Piers Morgan. Look at the damage Piers Morgan is doing. Every time he asks a question, it makes Elvis look bad.
Depiction, do you think, not just of you, but of your relationship with Elvis?
I think so. I think she did a, you know, I mean, she did some homework. I mean, she and I, we talked about it. And, you know, living with Elvis Presley, people think, oh, how wonderful, that's great, it's Elvis Presley. But I went through the ups and downs with him, you know, a very crucial part of it.
Guys, I might have to come back for a part 2. We'll just see. I think my wife might have pulled up. Let's just play a couple more minutes.
Life. You know, wonderful, that's great, it's Elvis Presley. But I went through the ups and downs with him, you know, a very crucial part of his life. You know, his ups and downs, his struggles, you know, his fears. So, you know, when you're living with someone so famous, and you've been through it with them, it's that part of privacy that it's hard to give up. It's hard to share. It's hard to, you know, I don't want to give out too much because I want some of that myself.
Right.
That's just for me.
And actually, one of the reasons it's reputed that Elvis loved you so much was that from the very first moments that you were together, even though you were very young and you were at school, and we'll come to that, you never spoke about him to people.
Right.
You absolutely respected and protected his privacy, even though at the time he was one of the biggest stars in the world. And that really endeared you to him, the fact that you safeguarded the privacy.
I did. When I first started dating him, or let's say, you know, he would call to my parents to see if I could come over just on the weekends, you know, maybe Friday, maybe a Saturday. That whole, I mean, part of my life was getting to know him, but the question was, why me? Why is he drawn to me? Why is he asking my mother and father if it's okay? And, you know, I would go visit. And when I put all the pieces together, it's because I really
part 2. Take care, guys. I got to rush off.
He trusted.
We're going to come back to this, guys. I've got to rush off. You take it easy. Love you all. See you later, guys. Back for part 2.